My name is James Mwangi. I was born in Kenya. I now live in South Africa, and I serve as Executive Director of the Dalberg Group, which is a group of companies focused on working towards a more sustainable and inclusive world for all. I think for me, the new face of Africa is one that really encompasses both the energy and possibility of the continent, as well as its rich history and heritage. I think we are now bought into this idea of Africa rising. You hear it very often. A question I increasingly ask is, where does the up go? Is the Africa uprising or Africa rising up? And if we want it to be the latter, then we need to find a way to include and engage the energy of Africa. So it's not just about the resources in our ground or the crops that we grow, but really about young Africans being a part of the global dialogue and doing things in a distinctly African, but also completely world-class way in every area of engagement and endeavor. For me, being a Tutu Fellow has, in all honesty, been one of the formative experiences of my life and career. It happened at a time when I was just preparing to take on a global role, leading a global organization. And the lessons I learned in the 6 months of being a fellow and the relationships I built in that period have really been very central to everything I've done since. Really, in a number of distinct ways, foremost of which is just in thinking about myself as a leader, really breaking down to my core. What were the things that I did well? What are the things I needed to learn from? What are the things I distinctively either brought or took away from instances? A few basic lessons around how I thought about my past and how it shaped my future and so on. And then also in connecting me to a network of peers that has really been second to none. It's no coincidence that my colleagues now include among their number 2 other Tutu Fellows. And we really find in that shared experience a lot of common background that's enabled us to take on some really remarkable challenges and, much to even our surprise, succeed beyond our wildest expectations. I think Africa's next generation of leaders need to strike a very delicate balance. On the one hand, we must be optimistic. We need to buy into the promise of Africa, this energetic new drive for the continent. And we need to sell a very positive vision of ourselves. On the other hand, we do need to remain anchored in the fact that those few of us who've had the opportunity to claim positions of leadership very often live in a very rarefied and privileged small strata of society. The vast majority of our continent still faces huge challenges and tremendous need. So how is it that you can really kind of be a believer in the future prosperity of the continent, while at the same time not losing touch and kind of creating two Africas, the one of the shiny boardrooms and the jet set, and the one of the struggling peasant farmers? Really staying connected to both levels, being able to speak to both kinds of audiences, and tell an inclusive story of how we all move together rather than a few leaving behind the many, is at the heart of what the future of African leadership has to be. Remember that what unites us far outnumbers what divides us. There is a challenge that African societies still struggle with of how we define ourselves, whether it's by country, by ethnicity, by socioeconomic grouping. But in reality, it is only in finding common cause and finding issues that we can really jointly address that we can gain strength. At the same time, it's in recognizing that no one ever got anywhere by talking just a good game. There's a lot of young people who get on, those who are successful in accessing their lead, get on the conference circuit or get some degree of acclaim, and that's it. And they forget that generally, if you think you're too big to do little things, you're probably too little to do big things.